right, going back to the new wave of British heavy metal once again.
Yep.
This is Rock Goddess.
Rock Goddess.
And we have two different versions here. This one's from Holland. This one's the US pressing. This was the second album for the Turner sisters, Jody and Julie.
Jody and Julie,
yep.
Dee O'Malley on bass.
Another power trio.
Yep, another power trio, but a power trio of women this time, which, I'm sorry, give me Girl School, give me the Runaways, give me Rock Goddess. These girls all rocked harder than a lot of guys did.
And this album is a little, not quite as heavy as their first album was. And I think it's more the production than songwriting. And this was produced by Chris Tsangarides. I don't know, I never pronounce that guy's name.
Tsangarides!
Yeah, that's it. Who, you know, he's done Thin Lizzy and Anvil, and he's done all kinds of stuff. But
and this is on A&M, it's on a major label.
Yes, it is.
So they had their 15 minutes of fame for sure.
Yeah, and this album was kind of reminded me. I said it reminds me of Joan Jett almost.
Yeah.
Or the Runaways. That kind of has.
I mean, who else did they really have to look to? And a female, as far as like female rockers, there weren't a whole lot around. Runaways, Joan Jett, Lita Ford. She was around at this point. Was Out for Blood '83?
No, it was not.
It must have been like '82 or '84.
'84, I'm thinking.
The latest.
Had to be '84, yeah.
There just weren't a lot. And then you could go into classic rock and you got the Wilson sisters, but that really, how much more?
Yeah. This is a great cover too. I always like this cover.
Yeah. And they look, like rockin' females. They're not like Vixen, who are like models up on stage.
They kind of remind me. They kind of look like Girl School. Actually,
they look a lot like Girl School, and they got the same kind of attitude, and that's what I dug about them.
Yeah, kind of a punky, boppy vibe to it. I mean, today's definition of heavy metal, no way.
No.
but I don't remember anybody not calling it metal in the '80s.
No. But they did get some airplay on MTV. I remember that's how I found out about them. Rock Goddess.
Rock Goddess.
Wonder whatever happened to them.
Don't know.
I would like to. I want to track down their first one. I don't think I have that.
I don't have it either. I have it on CD. I don't have it on vinyl yet. Yeah.
Whose turn?
Europe.
Mine.
Another one we thought about putting into the top 10.
Easily been in the top 10. If it was only for personal reasons, it would have been in my top 10 easy.
Man, this album blew my doors away, man. I actually painted this logo on the back of my denim vest back in the '80s.
Right under.
Right under the. No, mine was actually the Warning cover with this logo on the top of it.
Oh, I thought you had them. Don't Break the Oath also, though.
Don't Break the Oath. I painted for a buddy.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Queensryche EP, self-titled, 4 songs, later released with an extra one called Prophecy. Oh my God, this blew my mind because Jeff Tate. There have been many since that have imitated his style. He was the first one, in my opinion. He might argue maybe Bruce Dickinson a little bit, but I don't know. Jeff had a higher range and stronger, cleaner delivery than any other metal singer I'd ever heard at this point. I played this EP. I wore it out. Queen of the Reich, I could not get enough of that song.
That song pulled me in, man. I was just like, oh my gosh. And then my friends in Heathen's Rage actually were playing that song live in '83.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. I was lucky enough to see Queensryche on this tour. I ended up seeing Queensryche on almost every tour they did by accident. I never set out to see them. I just happened to see them
because they were. I saw them that tour too. Were they opening for Kiss?
When I saw them, they're opening for Dio. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah,
no, Dio, Y&T, and Dawkins.
I seen them opening for Kiss. I might have seen them on the Warning tour. Opening for Kiss.
I can't remember now. Maybe I'm thinking of Dawkins. How did I mix up Queensryche and Dawkins? Whatever the case, just forget everything I just said for the past 2 minutes. Except for the fact that this EP kicked ass.
Yep. Every single song.
Yeah,
even the ballad.
Song.
Yep. Which is Lady Wore Black.
Lady Wore Black was killer.
But it's, again, not a cheesy ballad.
It's a dark ballad.
It's just very...
It's like this woman he fell in love with, and she's tragic, and she made his life tragic.
Kind of like Beyond the Realms of Death.
It is. It very is.
And they never did anything else like this again, and which is unfortunate. And
Warning was similar.
I love the Warning,
but it was a little more
melodic. The production wasn't quite as
a little more progressive, even.
Yeah.
But it's all right. We have this, and it's.
I actually remember when this came out, and people were accusing them of being like kind of an Iron Maiden copy band. And that's not true, obviously.
I mean, they had the progressive elements that Maiden had, but they also had the rawness of Priest too.
Yep.
And I don't know, it's a good cross between the two. And granted, they went off in their own direction, but I always loved it. Just iconic looking cover, great logo. They never returned to this.
And they never used that logo again either. They should have.
Although we do have that.
They
did keep the whatever they call that.
There's a name thing. Yeah, I don't know what it's called either. But yeah, great EP. Loved it.
Really is.
Okay, next up, I actually discovered this band from Metal Massacre. That Metal Massacre 1 is when I first heard this album, and I think it was...
I think I heard a song on the radio.
Could be.
Yeah.
And I really didn't buy this EP until after I bought their next album. Then I went looking for the EP.
Yeah.
Because I think I saw on MTV the video for... what was it? Round and Around. Yep.
Yeah.
And it was like,
man, I loved that.
Gotta
song
have
when it
that.
came out. There was nothing else like it at that point.
Except
Like,
I'll tell you why, it never does.
right.
Yeah. But, anyhow,
Right.
the Rat EP.
Tawny Kitane's Famous Legs. Before she was David Coverdale's girlfriend, apparently she was dating Robin Crosby.
Yep.
She appeared on this one, just her legs, and on the second one, Out of the Cellar.
Yep. Cool cover.
You've got this. You've got the reissue too, because the original one had a black and white shot of him on the back.
Yeah, I don't know. This one's on Atlantic, actually.
The first one was on.
Time Coast? I don't know.
It had a silver label, just like Megaforce, but I don't think it was Megaforce.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I've had this one forever. I actually bought this one back when I first started hanging out with you here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were still.
I still don't have this, and I would like to have it because I like it.
But there's 5 songs in here. Everyone's great. You Think You're Tough. You Got It. Tell the World. Back for More. And Walking the Dog.
Back for More was not on the original EP, I don't believe. Or one of these songs was not.
I don't know.
You Think You're Tough was the reason I bought it. I dug that song when I heard it.
And
it might be Sweet Cheater.
Of course, Walking the Dog is a tribute to
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith. No, it wasn't an Aerosmith song.
No, it was Rufus Thomas.
Yep, it was a cover song, but that's Aerosmith's version right there that they just made sound like a 80s rat song.
Yeah.
Again, the look became really popular in the 80s.
Yeah, that was the beginnings of the whole hair metal movement.
And you can call this hair metal if you want. I don't care what you call it. It's still metal.
It's still good.
It's got that staccato, heavy riffing. It's got the guitar. The guitar solos are amazing in this band.
Yeah.
Charismatic vocals. I would definitely, as opposed to like a Jeff Tate, where you have.
Oh yeah, this guy. It was all rasp.
He couldn't sing,
all of it.
but he had.
You knew him. You knew it was Stephen Pearcy.
Kind of like David Lee Roth.
Yep.
Dude couldn't sing, but he had a ton of charisma, and that's what you get with the Rat. And so, anyhow, 4 or 5 song EP, whatever this is, a 5 song EP. This one is. Great album for '83.
Yeah, still want to
Another
find
EP,
it.
definitely worth showing.
Yeah. All right, killer album. Unfortunately, I didn't get into this one till later. When this came out in '83, this also could have been in our top 10, and we talked about it. There was just a lot of albums that it almost felt like being fake to put them in the top 10, because when this came out in '83, I wasn't super into it because it was such a change in sound for this band at the time.
Now, for me, I was. By the way,
oh yeah, Motorhead's
Motorhead,
Another Perfect Day.
For me, I was a huge Thin Lizzy fan and a huge Motorhead fan at the time. So when this came out, I was all over it, man. I mean, it was like gum on a shoe. I just loved it.
I don't know what it was about '83. We also had Deep Purple and Black Sabbath joining forces at the same time. I don't know. I think I did see the video for One Track Mind, and that remains my favorite song on this album to this day.
That's just not a one on here. It's definitely different.
It's different. It does sound like Brian Robertson playing with Motorhead.
I never heard Lemmy
really
saying
does.
it's more musical.
It's much more melodic than your typical Motorhead. It is.
So, I always loved
it's killer.
And I always loved the cartoons that were on the inside, the comic strip.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of making fun of Robbo.
Yes. And Robbo, I think, was the butt of many jokes. And I've got 2 of them here. I think one's on Bronze and one's on Mercury. That's why I've got 2. Oh, wait a minute.
I don't know.
I've got 2 for some reason. Who knows
This is a promo copy. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
Could be.
Whatever. Anyhow, there's not a bad song on here if you ask me.
The story I remember hearing about this tour was Motorhead was playing in front of a bunch of bikers. And Brian Robertson got the bright idea to come out on stage wearing lime green tight shorts.
Yep.
And like, he's lucky he didn't.
And he had his hair all cropped short at the time, and
it was all curly, and
he
he
wore
wore
the headband. And
I don't know. Brian
like
was always a bit abrasive.
He looked like she should have been doing a video for one of those like workout videos.
Yeah,
like that.
Living in John Physical or Jane Fonda's workout.
And then he refused to play a lot of the Motorhead classics.
Yeah,
which of course pissed off everybody.
I think at the same show he refused to play Bomber, which he
which
probably should have been lynched for that.
And he was surprised he wasn't. I always love the back cover picture too.
Another Perfect
of
Day.
the band.
Yeah, and I like the way that the words are all written like they're kind of like written in blood, and they get bigger. In the last song, it's called "Die, you bastard."
Yep, and all the band members are as Snaggletooth here.
Yeah, and Snaggletooth, definitely a different approach than they'd ever had, really, for the.
And this artist has done a ton of stuff for this band. Can't remember his name for Hitagno. I think it's Hitagno. I don't know. Anyhow, this artist has done a ton of stuff for him. He also did a cover for Avenger of Blood.
Oh, okay.
And because they love this one so much, yep.
Excellent.
So there you go, Motorhead, Another Perfect Day.
Yeah.
Great record. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot too. It's just I wasn't.
It is. It really.
I wasn't super into it in '83, so putting it in the top 10 was kind of.
It might sound trite to say, but it really does sound like a melding of Motorhead and Thin Lizzy.
It really does. They fit together well enough, but not so much that one overshadows the other.
Right.
Really, that's just how it goes.
All right, next one up. This is probably. I don't know. I just like it. I'm an Aerosmith fanatic, so Joe Perry Project. This one had to be in my list.
I was psyched when I found this because I didn't know it had come out. I'm like, oh, another Joe Perry. I loved the first two.
I love the first two too. This one is different. He's going
Joe,
for a different sound, and Joe's looking a little purdy on the background.
Yeah, he's got the hair going like he never had before.
And again, he fired his whole band from the second album. Had a whole new band. So you got
where did he get
Cowboy
these
Mock
guys?
Bell. You got Joe Pett, which I'm not really I'm not really getting the look here. He looks like some Shana Na.
He's like the Latin lover, and he's got the bouquet.
And you've got the black guy. What's his name? Danny
Hargrove.
Yep.
Now, Cowboy Mock Bell, I heard a story about him from a guy that was into the punk and hardcore scene at the time, and I don't know how they ended up at a Joe Perry concert, but there were a bunch of punks at the concert just giving Cowboy Mock a bunch of shit, and someone threw a big wad of gum, and he's got this really bleached blonde perm going on, and I guess the wad of gum got stuck in his hair, and he was all pissed.
He's actually a nice guy, because I'm actually friends with him on Facebook, and he's constantly posting old Joe Perry.
Is he still around?
Still around on Facebook. Cool. Very nice guy.
We just lost someone from Joe Perry Project. I think from the first album, it was probably the singer.
Best songs on here, definitely the title track.
Yep. Women in Chains is always my favorite.
Should have been a hit.
Yeah.
There's no reason it wasn't a hit.
Song.
I mean, first you have a new contract with MCA. They just must not have put anything into it, because there's no way that shouldn't have been a hit.
Also did a T-Rex cover, Bang a Gong.
Bang a Gong, yep. And that was probably my favorite song when I first bought this record. When I was young, but
totally different from the other two. But really, every album was different from the other. It
still sounds like Joe.
Yeah.
Joe sings about half the songs on here as usual.
Yeah.
Cowboy Mock Bell sings the rest.
Good album.
Very good album.
Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, okay, here we go. I was totally into these guys in high school. I got into their first album and this one at the same time. They were very evil. Evil spelled. Never mind. Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil. When this came out, there was so much hoopla about it. They used the pentagram on the cover and blah, blah, blah. And this was right at the height of the witch hunts of the 80s. And Motley Crue were the darlings of that whole movement.
They were one of them, that's for sure. You had, the guys wearing pants on fire, and they had the pentagrams on stage.
Yeah. And this was definitely Motley Crue at their most metal.
No doubt.
The earlier album, the album before this, Too Fast for Love, it had almost
it was definitely metal, but it had a bit of a punk vibe.
Yeah.
I always, like I said, I think I told you last time, it kind of reminded me a little bit of the Raspberries too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then this album,
this one was just heavy all the way through, and I remember when I heard Into the Beginning, and then trying to recreate it at school because people hadn't heard it yet. And just like In the Beginning, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Just doing my own version of it.
Always overcame the evils of all man's sins.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, there's songs over here that definitely got overplayed. How many bands was I in that we played Looks That Kill?
But it's a great song.
It is. It's my favorite cuts on here. Knock 'Em Dead Kid, Bastard. Shout at the Devil, still a great song.
I mean, come on, that's just an anthem.
Yeah, their version of Helter Skelter was pretty cool. Red Hot.
It's just cool. It's a fist pumper. That's all there is to it.
And God bless the children of the peace.
Yep.
Yeah. Crue. Motley Crue. I don't know what else to say.
All right, this next one. Gotta confess, I didn't get into this one until many years after the 80s were over. Picked up a CD when cheap, and just because I had heard of this band, and I was actually blown away. However, my roommate in college had this album. This is Oz, Fire in the Brain.
Not the Wizard of.
Just
not
Oz.
The Blizzard of.
This is, again, straight down the middle, heavy metal.
Yep.
No pretty boys in this band, that's for sure.
No.
Definitely not any commercial songs. Probably.
Cool cover, I mean.
Oh yeah.
Fake Skull on Fire. Here you go.
Blood all.
I believe you ordered this.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of that, like the Exciter covers, with the hanging knife that's kind of just kind of stuff. But
Cranium Flambe.
Let's see, my favorite song here, probably Searchlights. That's such a corny song, but so cool. What song would you pick on here?
I don't know this album, dude. The only album I heard by Oz was the song I remember is "Turn the Cross Upside Down," which was either the one before this or the one after. But I want to check this out now that you brought it up.
A very,
I'm gonna look for
very
it.
dark record. But like I said, straightforward heavy metal, not doomy, just dark.
Yeah. And they were, where were they from?
Oh, they're from, I can't, Sweden, Switzerland? I don't know.
Not American for sure. Definitely
We
European
definitely should
band.
look these things up before we start the video.
We've said that. But that's when you put the Oz is from.
Yeah, on the bottom.
The magic. Use your imagination.
Oz.
Oz.
Oz. And they're still around. They're still touring. Still putting out records. There you go.
All right. This was a turning point in the history of probably any metalhead that grew up with hard rock. I remember seeing a little special on MTV.
Yep.
Where these 4 guys, well, at least 3 of the original 4.
No, 2.
Only 2. Wow.
Yeah.
Even back in '83, there were only 2 of them left in the band. All right, Kiss.
Kiss.
Look it up. They took off their makeup just prior to this coming out, and I've got the
West German pressing.
pressing.
And I have the Japanese pressing, which still has the makeup OBI strip covering them.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
See, now I probably wouldn't have picked this one up on vinyl. I liked it. Creatures of the Night was like, oh my god,
awesome.
Kiss Reborn. This has still got a little bit of that in it, but it's missing a lot. And I don't care what you think about what the makeup adds or takes away from the music. Something was missing without it.
But it was sold like gangbusters because
it did. Look it up. The title track was a friggin' huge hit.
You ever seen that video for the first time?
I have.
Yeah,
all the toothpaste.
Gene Simmons is still trying to do his monster walk and stuff, and
it's not working, man. It's not working. I mean, he couldn't even let it go completely. He's got his tongue hanging out on the cover. I mean,
well, and it really is an iconic photo of the band. Nobody really knew. Well, some people knew what it looked like, but that tongue sticking out.
There was a picture that came out in the Inquirer, like around '77 or '78.
Right.
Picture of Kiss without makeup. I assumed it was fake. It's the friggin' Inquirer,
right.
Star. Turns out years later, it was friggin' real.
Yep.
It was totally real.
It was one of those cream shots, was what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. From '73 or something like that.
So, cuts on here. Exciter is a great opener.
Yes, very good. Not for the Innocents, a great song.
Lick It Up, I liked it in spite of myself. My buddy Chris Allenak thinks that song's blasphemy. When he saw Ace and Peter on the farewell tour, they had to play Lick It Up, and he thought that was just wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be the simplest riff ever written.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. You don't even have to know how to play guitar to play it.
And again, like I said, I liked it in spite of myself.
And the guitar solo in that song is kind of a joke.
Yeah. Young and Wasted was a cool track. All Hell's Breaking Loose was a great song. Total Paul Stanley swagger in that one.
Yep.
On the Eighth Day, I always like that cut too.
It's Like a Glove, is that on there?
Yeah, It's Like a Glove.
It's Like a Glove is a great song too. They played that song on that tour, I believe.
Did they?
I know they played it on a few tours because I know I've heard them play it.
So Lick It Up. Not the best, certainly not the worst.
And on the tour, they ended up using the same stuff from the tour before, so they still had the tang.
Oh, they did? You're right, they did. I remember that.
Yep, they sure did. All right, next up, this is Randy's favorite band.
I thought we weren't doing that.
I had to, well,
bastard!
This is one that went in and out, in and out, in and out. And I have most.
Which one is it?
I have most of this stuff on vinyl. For some reason, this is one where you have a lot of records when you think you have something and you don't have it.
Yep.
Yep. This is MANOWAR Into the Glory Ride. Hail! Hail! All ye soldiers of metal!
I saw a cool edit of this cover, and it was called Into Glory Holes.
I don't know.
Sorry,
this is not.
You know what? I really wish I could like MANOWAR because part of me is just like, they're so metal.
I guess it's kind of you just have to, get the joke. It's all.
That's the problem. I don't think it's a joke.
England.
I think that's why I can't get into them because I don't think it's a joke.
I don't know if they think it's a joke or not, but I sure think it is.
don't.
All ye soldiers of metal.
I don't know. All men play on 10. I still love that cut.
So we got 3 songs on here with the word "of" in the middle: "Secrets of Steel," "Gloves of Metal," and "Gates of Valhalla." So, I just don't have this on vinyl, and I thought I did. I swear I did. So it's on my want list now because I don't have it on vinyl.
I tell you what,
CD.
all you guys who are going to give me shit because I don't like MANOWAR, I tell you what, I'm going to listen to this album because this is one I don't think I've heard. I'm going to give this a spin today, and next time we get together, I will tell you my thoughts on it. I will give it an honest chance, all right?
There you go.
That's my promise to you.
I don't think this is their best album. I think the one that preceded it and Hail to England
Hail to England, I tried that. Like 3 different times I tried that one.
And I love that album. May each note I now play be a black hour of death and to all those who play false metal.
That's when I checked out. I don't know.
I liked it.
It's so subjective, but I will promise you I will give this album an honest chance. This is chance number 4 for MANOWAR.
But they do look dapper on the cover there.
They look very dapper, but not as dapper as the anthology cover. And I'm hoping what you'll do, Scott, is you'll put it right here, right now, so that you will see how sexy greased up men in fur loincloths look. And why someone made this into glory holes.
I don't know, Ted Nugent did it and he didn't come off as...
Nugent was mental! He was mental! MANOWAR, it's like, I don't know, man. I'm just going to shut up because all I'm going to do is just generate more crap for people to throw at me.
I like it. MANOWAR. This is one that almost didn't make the list because, yeah, like I said, Randy's not real big into them, so...
But, you know, like I said, I will give him a chance. I'm a little excited. I'm a little excited about this. Here's an album I was way into in 83.
Speaking of the new wave of British heavy metal.
Yes. A lot of times these guys get overlooked as being a part of that. And part of it, I think, is because 3 of the guys in the original band were from the old guard.
Right, you know? From the first wave. Yep.
This is a super group. It really was. It was Fast Way.
Yep. And there was a reason that it was called Fast Way.
The reason it was called Fast Way was Fast Eddie Clark and Pete Way from
right.
UFO. Fast Eddie from Motorhead. Fast Way. Now Pete left before the recording of the album,
right,
which
took off with Ozzy.
I was so sad about. Mm-hmm. And then he formed Wasted. He didn't come back. I mean, granted, Pete Way is a walking wrecking ball. You know, the guy's chemical problems are legendary. So we got Fast Eddie, we got Jerry Shirley, the drummer from Humble Pie,
right,
originally, and then we got a newcomer, David King, who was still like a teenager at the time. Very bright-eyed, red-haired Irish guy who went on to sing for Irish balladeer pseudo-punk band Flogging Molly.
Right, and also he played in a band that's very, very good and overlooked, Kathmandu.
I don't know them.
Yep.
I don't know
if you like Fast Way, you probably dig Kathmandu. Yep.
Now, if you liked Fast Eddie's work in Motorhead, and that was the classic lineup when he was in it, imagine slowing down some of that stuff just a little so you can hear it. And that's what you got on Fast Way. I mean, this thing is so full of cool riffs and licks. Say What You Will was one of the first songs I ever learned on guitar. I couldn't believe it when I learned how to play. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm playing this. Yeah, I really liked it.
I don't play bass, but I'm pretty sure I can play the bass line.
Oh yeah, I think you could too. And I think, I'm not sure, Charlie McCracken might have been the bass player on this. He ended up being a full-fledged member on the second album, but he's not pictured on the back.
Yeah.
But when this came out, I mean, it's really iconic cover.
Yep, very much so.
Black, White, and Red is the, those of you who've had babies, you know that Black, White, and Red are the first color receptors that newborn eyes can see. So that's why there's you see a lot of those colors on baby toys and stuff like that. And I think there's something about it that it's almost primal, that red, black, and white.
And this album generated a hit that was on the radio quite a bit, rock radio, and it still shows up every once in a while. Say What You Will.
Say What You Will. Yep. Great song. Just a real kind of a 12-bar blues, but sped up and just rocking as hell. I saw them a couple of times. I saw them on this tour opening for AC/DC, and I saw them on the next tour opening for Rat. And they were great. They were just great both times. I loved them. And then they just sort of...
They just went again, like a lot of bands. We were talking about that split. This one goes down the middle. They decided we're going to go this way, and they went towards the pop metal sound. And I like it or love it. That's what they did.
Just got lost, really. Though. I mean, I know that they had a third album with David King, and then he left.
Right.
They did the Trick or Treat soundtrack, which was like half stuff that had come out before and half new stuff.
Yep.
And that was it for the original Fast Way.
Correct.
Then there was a few albums that came out that I just was so confused by.
Waiting for the Roar, and it was pop metal. That's what it was.
But after that, the stuff that came out was like, it just started being too cheesy.
Yep.
Like not even good cheese. It was like government cheese that was spoiling.
I like it, but I just think the first 2 albums were the best thing there.
They were. They rocked, and they still hold up to this day.
And I just think that was their downfall too, like a lot of other, like Y&T, you know.
Yeah. And Y&T and Fast Way, they fit very well together.
And I think when my original came out, it had a 7-inch in it as well.
Yeah. And I'm trying to see if I have it. I don't.
Maybe it's in your 7-inch collection.
Oh, it might be.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Yeah, it came out with a 7-inch Far Far From Home, which wasn't on the original album.
Yeah.
It's on the CD as a bonus track from the first release on CD. It's been
it comes out with it's just a white paper labels.
Yeah.
It came out
And
with
it's
white sleeve. Yeah.
very Zeppelin. There's a lot of Zeppelin influence on here, especially We Become One, which is my favorite track of all time on this album, and Heft. Heft is another very Zeppelin flavored number.
There was a lot of bands doing that after this too.
Yes.
Sort of trying to get the Zeppelin sound.
Yep.
Kingdom Come maybe.
Yeah, Kingdom Come was probably the worst offender.
This is a band that I've only discovered in the last 4 to 5 years. I don't know how I missed them because I love this band now. They
still got to get into
the problem is they have so much material out, man. It's just I almost hate getting into new bands because especially when they have a lot of material out. So anyhow, this is probably my favorite record from them so far. I don't have every record by them, but this is Manilla Road, Crystal Logic.
Yeah.
Very
Crystal Light.
Crystal Light. Very almost doomy in their sound, but not doom metal by any stretch of the imagination.
No, I said this in our last video, and you told me, you confirmed it. Someone told me that they thought my music sounded like these guys.
Yeah, a little
Is this
bit.
the album that you're talking about?
This would be the style. This would be around the era. That,
Okay.
yeah,
So I definitely got to hear this today.
best bands from Wichita, Kansas. This was their
That's where they're from?
Wichita, Kansas.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
This was their third record. I think their first album came out in like '79. They had Invasion, Metal, and then Crystal Logic. And again, this is one of my favorite records from them. Necropolis is one of their most well-known songs. This is not a bad song on it. Flaming Metal System, I believe, was on one of the Shrapnel U.S. Metal compilations, which is where I actually heard about them at the first. For whatever reason, I discovered a lot of bands through those, the Shrapnel releases and the Metal Blade releases. I just never followed up until a few years ago, and Crystal. And you know what? It was somebody who sent me a CD in the mail to check out from Electro Metal. They got me turned on to them.
And every once in a while, it's a winner.
And then, the cover was horrible. And
The titles got me a little flat, too.
yeah, it's a great album. This is a High Roller re-release. As with most High Roller stuff, High Roller stuff's always awesome. Anything on High Roller records,
It looks like a solid cover.
It's built like a tank, and they almost always have gatefolds, and they almost always come with inserts with all the High Roller
Lyrics
releases.
and tours, and
then they almost always come with a poster of the front cover
this
art.
excellent cover.
Yeah, almost every single High Roller album comes with a poster of the cover, so there you go.
Man, Gina.
Yeah, High Roller does good stuff, man. They're definitely a quality company.
I like their logo. Because that kind of Israeli-looking font.
I really try when I buy High Roller stuff to get the black vinyl. I tend to see some of the High Roller stuff coming in colored vinyl, sometimes being warped. But I did get this one on black vinyl.
Now here's where I get on my soapbox. I hate colored vinyl. I hate the splatter. I hate the color. I'm not even a fan of picture discs. You know why? Very simple, very practical reason. You can't see the scratches on them at all. So you're looking at it totally clueless. This is going to be beat to hell, and you have no idea. I like black vinyl for that reason, because I know I'm getting a decent copy that's in good shape. I don't, it's just me. That's my thing.
Yeah, I know people just like that, but I know people who love the colored vinyl,
Yeah.
the collectability of it.
Colored vinyl does nothing for me, unless it makes sense in some way, like Ultimatum Heart of Metal on lime green. That makes sense. That lime green has always been Ultimatum's kind of color, their color scheme. If I were to put out my Troglodyte Dawn on vinyl and it was like a black and orange,
orange, yeah.
it makes sense. But when they just come out for the sake of being on a color, it makes no sense. If it doesn't add to the package, I don't care for it. I'll go for the black every time. To me, there's nothing collectible about it. A few picture discs, I think. Like, I remember when the Ozzy Mr. Crowley picture disc came out, I was like, wow! But the market wasn't flooded with friggin' picture discs of everything at that point.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to have picture discs of albums that came out in regular formats on picture disc. I just don't need it. Even Black Sabbath.
But I'll tell you one thing, picture discs have come a long way since the 80s. The 80s, they always sound like crap. I've heard ones that are more recent that sound fantastic.
Yeah.
Iron Maiden, not so much.
No.
I've heard some of the Iron Maiden ones. Oh, no.
Well, the quality now of the vinyl releases that are coming out, there has been a huge resurgence of vinyl, which thank you. I'm loving that. I'm loving that vinyl is making a huge comeback. I love CDs. I don't want to lose them either. I like all the formats, but the way that they've been handling the newer releases on vinyl these days has been really cool. At least 180 gram releases. They're solid. It's like records from the 60s. They were solid. I mean, you get some record that was, I don't know, the Sound of Music soundtrack or something, and it was so thick. You couldn't break this thing. You couldn't warp it if you left it in the sun hanging over the fence. I like that, and the covers are solid cardstock, and it's just, they're not going anywhere anytime soon, and the packaging rules. Anyway, I'm totally going off on a rabbit trail. 1983, this was a huge disappointment for Diamond Head fans. I like it. It showed a huge maturity in the sound of the band and the writing. Canterbury was leagues away from the original Diamond Head stuff.
Yep.
The sound was, there's a much more folk oriented element to this, which when it worked well. Out of Phase was one of the singles, and great acoustic folk.
Actually, there is a single, one of them. There's one of them for Out of Phase.
And I think the picture disc too.
Out of Phase.
I've got all
picture discs.
I love those guys.
Out of Phase picture disc. Yeah.
So, really, Making Music was the opener. The bummer about the original vinyl pressings of these is that it came with a manufactured skip, and it wasn't manufactured on purpose. It was a goof. So I remember going through a couple copies of this, and it skipped and drove me friggin' nuts. My copy now does not, which is cool. Very epic sounds on this. Much more into Zeppelin territory than their previous stuff was, even though they definitely...
It doesn't have the same galloping riffing or even the machine gun riffing.
It's less metal.
Yeah.
It's much less metal. And the problem here is that, and I love these guys. I love Sean and Brian. Sean Harris and Brian Tatler. I've spoken with them. One of my old bands covered Making Music, and I spoke with them directly to get permission to use it. And
speaking of Making Music,
great guys. Yeah, Making Music.
There's a thing for that one.
They're, I don't know if they got bad advice or what. They got some, Brian and Sean got it in their heads that they were better than Duncan and Colin. And they got rid of them. For whatever reasons. That's probably way more simplified than it needs to be. Because you only see Brian and Sean on the back of this, and the other guys might have contributed a few tracks, but it was mainly down to these two guys at this point, and they lost a lot of fans because of the direction they decided to go in.
Yep.
And I think this was the reason that Diamond Head never quite broke through. I think they were trying.
Yep.
They said, like, when I talked to Brian and Sean, they said Making Music took them 6 months to record. There was so much overlays and harmonies and guitar stuff that I think they just lost the fans in the dust.
I remember Metallica just ripping on them when this came out.
Yeah. And Metallica were the biggest fans.
They were huge fans. They were like, not anymore. So.
Now, I love the guys, and I love this album. I don't have any problem with it, but it definitely does not fit with Borrowed Time and Lightning to the Nations. It's just it's a totally different direction. And, artists have that prerogative. They can do that anytime they want, but it doesn't mean that the general public's going to accept it.
Or even your hardcore fans.
Yeah, it was an experiment. Commercially, it failed, but that by no means does that mean this record sucks. You just have to approach it with a different perspective. I love it.
If either one of us thought it sucked completely, it wouldn't have been in the list.
It wouldn't have been in the list at all.
Yeah, so.
But I love Diamond Head. I always have. So I recommend it, but don't go in thinking that you're going to get what you had before, because it's not the same record, not the same band.
Yeah. So we got next Loudness. Walk away with tonight.
Oh, Here we've got he's growing up. Little Devil Baby is growing up.
He's on the back cover
see
too.
What we had. The first cover, he was still in his nice little egg.
Right.
Little demon with his pointy ears. Second cover,
the egg was broken.
Egg was broken. Third cover. Is this the third one, or is
this? It is the third one.
All right. So he's assumed his throne, and he's starting to lay down the law.
He's very strategically placed so that.
Yes, his loudness. So his sword is covering up his naughty bits.
Yes. So there's no junk on the cover. So we have shown boobs and butts.
Yes. I'm not sure that I'm not sure that
But no yahoos.
The demons have genitalia.
I'm
not. Maybe they're just adding to the mystique.
Maybe.
Do they? Or don't they?
I don't know. But anyhow, sound-wise, reminds me of Old Priest.
Yeah.
Just straightforward, fist-pounding heavy metal. I'm trying to think of what songs are on here that I.
Oh, it's not even listed.
No song listed. That's awesome. Let's see. We'll just pull it out real quick.
These early Loudness albums are very esoteric, very exotic.
Oh, I forgot about this. Is the kind of the poster insert.
Yep.
So we got see In the Mirror, I Wish, Mr. Yes Man, Black Wall, Speed, Law of Devil's Land, of course, title track. Speed was probably one of their heaviest songs, as I recall.
Yeah. They've got Theme of Loudness on here, part 2, which was a continuation of the theme on. I don't remember if it was on the first.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Yep.
Look at the. I forgot all. And check out Minoru's. He's got the angel look going on here with the white feathers and leather. A
little bit of Freddie Mercury and Punky Meadows in there.
Punky Meadows, you got it, man. But they actually started looking the part 2 in here. They didn't look as much. The first couple albums, they were more, denim and leather.
Yep.
New wave British heavy metal, Judas Priest inspired Iron Maiden. They were starting to get a little more commercial here, more so in look than the sound, but great release still. And Akira, oh my gosh, man, what a shredder!
Yeah, totally. That was the thing that drew me to Loudness originally, because Eddie Van Halen was a huge figure in the music scene, the metal music scene at the time, and Akira was definitely following in his footsteps in many ways, but from the other side of the planet. So definitely different. I liked it when they were trying to fit in, but still being Japanese. They Americanized their approach.
So much so that they got rid of Minoru, singer.
They got rid of him
After, well, not here, but later on down the road, and they took on the American.
After Thunder in the East.
Oh yeah.
At that point, I had lost track of Loudness completely.
Yeah, I mean they actually were gaining momentum in the '80s.
We lost the drummer a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yep. They're still around though.
What's his name? Higachi? Minatuko Higachi. There he is.
Yeah, Munetaka Higuchi.
We speak very good.
We speak good thing. Yeah. We speak good.
I can't speak good English.
No. Good, well, or otherwise.
There you go.
All right.